In today's health headlines, how soft drinks in early childhood can affect your weight later in life, a newly found genetic variant that could point to new Alzheimer's treatments, and what to know about permanent contraception rates. Joining us now is Associate Professor at Yale School of Medicine and Yale Medicine physician, Dr. F. Perry Wilson. Thank you for being here, Doctor.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, let's start with this research that has found that kids who drink soft drinks before the age of 2 are more likely to have obesity as adults. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it seems pretty clear we shouldn't be giving our toddlers below the age of 2 access to soda, but this study kind of proves what parental intuition was probably telling you. This was looking at about 35,000 kids over time, and what they found was that kids who were exposed to sodas, but I'll point out not juices, had a significantly higher BMI when they got into their 3, 4, and 5 age group, and were more likely to eat sugary foods and candies if they'd been exposed to soda when they were in that toddler phase. In contrast, the kids who were given juices had a lower BMI and tended to eat more protein and other healthy foods. So apple juice, okay. Coke, probably not.
Not a good idea. Yeah, a genetic variant has been identified now that reduces the risk of Alzheimer's. What does that mean for therapy for that?
Really fascinating study that comes out of some researchers at Columbia. They looked at people who had a known genetic variant that increases the risk of Alzheimer's, something called ApoE4, which many people may have heard of. But they identified older individuals with this variant who nevertheless never developed Alzheimer's. So why didn't they? And what they found was another genetic variant that seems to push in the opposite direction. It's a protein that helps to clean some of the abnormal proteins out of the brain. And it's a potential new target for therapy because perhaps we can, stimulate that protein in people who are at risk of Alzheimer's to prevent it from developing. So really exciting stuff in that space.
Great news. Over the last 2 years, permanent contraceptions, things like vasectomy or tubal ligation, have become more and more popular. What should we know about that?
Well, the rates of permanent contraception have been increasing slowly over the past 2 decades. The line sort of ticks up year after year as more people are embracing that form of contraception. But there was a sudden change that a study documented, and that was after the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision, which overturned Roe v. Wade. What happened was that in the months following that decision, the rate of tubal ligation in women went up by nearly 50-fold from the prior rate. It has continued to rise since then in women and is rising at a rate about 2 times faster than the rate at which it had been rising prior to the Dobbs decision. Men for vasectomy have a similar, although not quite as extreme finding, with about a 20-fold increase in the month or 2 after the Dobbs decision, and now a sustained increase that's fairly similar to the rate prior to Dobbs. But we're certainly seeing a rewriting of the reproductive landscape in this country that has started on the political side and is moving, clearly into the medical side now.
Pretty interesting. Dr. F. Perry Wilson from Yale, appreciate your time. Have a great Monday.
Anytime.